Hello, I'm Marguerite, and today I'm working on Valentine postcard art. So I'll be honest with you, for a long time I was not a fan of Valentine's Day. For the most part, I still am not a fan of Valentine's Day. Sending Valentines to people has never been a thing for me, even going back all the way back to grade school. But what I have realized is that I do enjoy making Valentines and mailing Valentines to people who appreciate them and who often mail me back with their own Valentines that they make. And I also like making Valentines and mailing them to myself. So I will actually create a postcard, and doesn't necessarily need to have a Valentine theme. It can be any kind of postcard art. And then either save them for when I go on a trip and just drop them in the mailbox when I'm away, or even just in my own local town, just putting a postcard in the mailbox. And then a few days later, you receive it at home. So that's the kind of art exchange that I like. Sharing with people who enjoy my art and how I enjoy receiving cards in return. So where do you find people to exchange art with? The best places for me where I have found people to exchange art with are on forums like Instagram, for example. You find people who share the same kind of art that you like. Also, in my own group, I have a group called the Collage-art Collective. We have a portion of that group that is dedicated to exchanging art. So you can go in there and sign up to exchange art. So what I like to do is to look for groups or organizations that promote sharing art, particularly the art that you like. So now, about the postcards I'm going to show you. I have received some postcards in the past, and they are ones that I like and appreciate very much. So I wanted to create something in a similar vein. So I'm taking these cards as my samples, as ones that I can take inspiration from to create my own cards. So I have 3 examples to share with you, and I will turn on my desk camera and get going. Well, I've got a ton of Valentine related things on my desk. I want to show you first some examples of Valentine postcard art that I have received. And these are samples that I'm going to be using as my inspiration to create other postcard art, collage art. So this first one is just an example of a postcard that's made with a whole bunch of different color red, different red themed pieces. We've got washi tape, a piece of a playing card, what else? Piece from a magazine, just cutouts, a sticker, really pretty background, a die cut piece of something here, right? Then there's some background page and a little bit of music in the back also. This one is from my friend Valerie, and I guess the focal point she chose would be these birds. One of them was obviously very red. And then the really cool thing is these postage stamps, Forever stamps from 2015. It's the same stamp, but just the inverse of the colors. So it's really cool that she included both of them. And then the background pieces, right? You have a little bit of security envelope inside there and some background pieces. This one, who is this from? Christy Wilson Boone. She used really pretty vintage ledger paper there is on top a piece of pattern paper, then a little bit of music, 2 postage stamps, and a beautiful illustration of a plant, flowered plant. So this is really good inspiration. This one from my friend Jennifer. I love this card because it's very simple. You have background pieces that are layered, nested one on top of the other, smaller, smaller, smaller. All these 3 pieces are very similar in color. And then you have a cutout heart that is just, you know, sits right in the middle, and it pulls your attention right here. The only other piece of red are those numbers that are right above. And so it's so totally, to me, this is a really cool Valentine. And I want to try and do something similar to this. Use this as an inspiration. So what I have are some cutouts of 4x6 size for making a postcard. These are from manila folders that I just cut out. And I also have one leftover piece of cereal box that I cut into 4x6 that I can use for a background. In addition, I have a whole bunch of just Valentine things. I have these die cuts, this, and I've got these over here. I have this really strange piece left over from a art project. Hopefully I'm going to try and use this somehow. I have hearts. These hearts were just red and shiny, and I didn't want it so shiny, so I put some gesso over it and then rubber stamped, so it's got a pretty design on it now. I have background papers, this pretty piece of wrapping paper, and a little piece or big piece of ledger paper. So let me try, let's see, what do I want to try first? I think I want to try this one first. I have my piece of ledger paper. For pattern paper, I want to use this. And for this, I will use one of my die cuts, one of these die things. And then I have some rubber stamp or some postage stamps that I will use on the side. Okay, so the first thing I need is my ruler along with a background piece. So I will use my cereal box piece. And looking at this piece of ledger paper, I want to specifically use this part because it has the most text on the, using up the most space with text. So in that case, I'm going to go like this and tear it this way. I maybe don't even need this ruler, but just in case. And I'm going to save my other pieces for another project. See, I've got a nice date. Meeting January 12th, 1909. So this is definitely something I want to hold on to. Okay. Now, I will probably use double-sided tape for this. Oh gosh, this is pretty too. I hate that. I hate when I turn something over and I start to double think. No, yeah, I think I still want to use this side. Okay, so I will use double-sided tape. Why am I using double-sided tape? I don't know. Sometimes it's just what I prefer. The good thing is that it really, really stays super flat when I use double-sided tape. There's no bubbling, buckling, warping with glue. So that's why sometimes I like to use double-sided tape. want to make sure that there's nothing. See, I can see some of that peeking up, so I'm going to use this side instead. Yeah. And the great thing about using double-sided tape is that what I do is I undo just one side. So this is where it's sticky down here. But here it's not sticky. So I'm able to position the page where I want it, the paper where I want it, and then I can let it go and it'll attach at the bottom. There. Now I just need to undo my 3 sides here. Now for a little piece, no, actually we want to do the top, this, because this is so pretty. Yes, that's all I want. All right, so for this, I will probably need to use a glue stick. I will use double-sided tape on the very top. And then glue for the rest. All right. So next I want to put something over here, and also I need to, well, I'm gonna put postage stamps also, but I'm gonna wait until I choose my focal point before, you know what, let me choose the focal point first, because then that will determine what I put around it. So my choices are this big guy right here, or one of these. I could do this heart, I could do this bouquet, one of these roses. I think I do like this one. Let me try this. Okay, so here's what I have. How does this look? I think it looks okay. That's fine. Now, let's figure out what goes over here. I have, well, here's my little box of scraps. Let me see if I have some music. Okay, I can cut that down. And then postage stamps. The kinds of postage stamps, I have this box. This is where I store all my colored stamps, stamps of different colors. So let me figure out if instead of music, I think I'm going to use this piece of text, just because this paper and this paper are just too similar. This doesn't stand out enough, but this one, it does stand out a whole lot more. So I think I want to use that. Probably not the whole thing though, so I will cut it down. Maybe just like that. Here's our original. Okay, postage stamps. So looks like the dominant colors are this pink. It's kind of matched here. There's green and there's cream colored. And then there's also this blue, which is interesting because it's not something you would notice at first glance. So let me play around with a couple of colors and see what looks good. Okay, here's what I have. I like this combination of 3. So I might do something like this where I just kind of double or triple them up, one on top of the other. Maybe I'll do something like that. Maybe I don't even need this. Do I need this little paper on the side? I'm not sure. Yeah, I do need this because I have this empty space now, right? Darn, I should have kept the text all the way over. That's all right. I will just make this a little bit smaller. Like that. Okay, let me glue these down and I will show you how it turns out. Here's what I have. Let me hold it up closer so you can see. Oh, let me cut this off. There. All right, I have 2 stamps over here and 3 over here. And I tempted to put some rubber stamping on anything else, but I think I'm going to leave it alone because it's quite busy the way it is. So that's the first one. All right, here is my second sample. This is what I'm using as inspiration to create my next postcard. And I have my paper pieces here. I have this background. I started on another project and then never finished. So I'm going to use this as my background. And then I'm going to nest some papers inside. I like these papers because there is enough of a variant in the shading of these for them to kind of, you know, just, they not quite stand out, but that you can see that there's a difference in the color, which I like. And then the last thing I will do in the middle is add a heart. And I might add some rubber stamping, I'm not sure yet, but let's start with the nesting. So what I do is I'm just gonna take, here's my sample, I'm just gonna take my ruler and just cut, let's see, if this is the base, so I want to cut about, what's that, about 3 inches, and all I want to do is just make sure it's straight, right? Cut off this end, and this one. Oops, I didn't hold it on, didn't hold it down strong enough. There. Is it enough or do I want to take down more? Maybe a little bit more. Okay, so that's one. Now the next one fits quite nicely if I cut right along that line. So I will do that. Okay, let me glue these down and I'll be right back. Okay, here's where I am. Am I ready for my sticker, heart sticker, maybe? I have this stamp that I made and I was thinking of going across the top in a red ink and then putting this on the top. The reason why I want to do it is just because I want to add a little bit more red. Another option would be to I could rubber stamp some red numbers up here, or I could also, I have my round stamp. I could do some round here and here. So there's a whole bunch of options. But I do want to do some kind of rubber stamping color with red. So it's just a matter of deciding. Well, I think this is a really big risk using this guy. Oh, maybe I should just, this is the safe bet. If I do here and here, that's a safe bet. But if I do that big one, well, let's try. I guess the worst that can happen is that I'll hold on to it and I won't send it out to anybody. I'll keep it. So let me ink this one up. So find the center as much as you can. And then place the stamp on it. Okay, so now I have my red stamp, my red sticker, and it's gonna go right there. The moment of truth. Let's try and see what it does. Got an extra gesso here still sitting on the heart. Oh no, it's kind of messy. All right, so okay. I don't know. What do you think? Maybe I should have used black ink instead of red. What else can I add to this? It's a little, I have the feeling now that it's a bit imbalanced. What else could I do? I could put some red postage stamps maybe. These are left over from another project. Look, I still have Queen Elizabeth here. What about that? How's that? That looks okay, right? Not too bad. And then I can just add more stuff to it. I can just keep on adding things until I like it. Okay, let me put those down. Okay, now what? Should I do it? Should I add some red, additional red? Black? Okay, let's try black. First we test it out. Oh, need a little more. Okay, better. Oh. Okay. Let's see, where do I want to put the second one? Here. Or here, maybe. There. I think I have one, two, I think I should put a third one up here. Do that. There. Okay, I think I'm good with that. I might make a second version of this, and if I do, I won't use that stamp, or I will use a different kind of stamp. Right? But still, getting my inspiration from this, and then making this, that's not bad. I'm okay with that. All right, that's the second one. Okay, here's the third sample I have. This is kind of throwing everything red at it and see what sticks. This is what I'm going to try. I'm just going to play around with a bunch of scraps and red things and see if I can make this work. So here is my substrate. I have this left over from the other one that I want to use it because it's a very pretty scrap. In addition to that, I pulled these things out of my little box, and well, let's see. So this is going to be at the top. This here maybe. Probably make that smaller. So this is what I do. I just play around with the pieces until I start to feel like it's coming together. I can fill it with washi tape. I could put like a strip there and a strip there. Or I could use larger pieces of paper. I'm going to start gluing down pieces and come back and I will show you what it looks like before I add on my larger pieces, or these little detail pieces, and we'll see if I need to add anything else before I call it finished. Okay, here's where I am right now. I've glued down my parts. And now I'm going to just put the top pieces in. Before I put them on, I want to make sure that there's nothing else that I want to add with rubber stamping or any other gluing down any other pieces. And I think that's good. With this one, I'm going to use hearts. I decided that I'm going to use hearts on this one. So. I think this is where these three are going to go, and then I will just add what I would like. So, which ones and where? Let's see. I like this one. Now it's hard for me to tell where they're going to stand out. Let's try here. And one more, I think. Maybe here, up there. All right. That's it. Now I wanted to show you one other thing. Let's see, here's my first one, my second one, and I've done one more. I worked on this one. Now, this one is super plain. It's in a similar style to this, right? With this, I think I need to add some rubber stamping. So I have this stamp and I have this. I could do red with these dots or black with this. And I think I'm going to go for the black because it's much more, it really stands out. So here we go. And what I do on one side, I'm going to do on the other side, on the top instead of the bottom. How does this look? Is this sufficient or should I do more? I wish I seriously could take a vote right now. What do you think? Should I put more? Oh, I guess I'll leave it. I'll leave it because I'm afraid of doing too much, right? I will actually leave this for a day or two, 24 hours, and then I might come back and play with it. I don't know. Maybe I want to add something else, a stamp or more rubber stamping. I'm not sure. But for now, that's good. And this is a very nice card. I'm happy with this. So I might just leave it as is. So here are my cards. I hope they give you some ideas of what you can do to make some of your own Valentines. And thanks for watching.